Do you need to design interesting and eye-catching product packaging for your brand? In this video, I'm going to show you my process to do just that and provide you with a free template so you can follow along. Well-designed product packaging can be essential to any business that's selling a product and needs to move that product off of shelves. This packaging needs to be eye-catching, needs to be simple, it needs to show off all the product's features to the customer. It needs to do that very quickly. Before we get started, I want to let you know that you can download a template that I'm going to be using today to plan out my product packaging design off of my website at brycetufts.com under the Resources tab. Look for the Print Materials Content Capture sheet, and that's what we'll be using today. Having a sheet like this is extremely important, whether we're designing it ourselves or we're shipping it off to somebody else to do that work. It's going to give us a comprehensive list of all the assets and information that we need in order to make this product packaging a success before we get into design. So today we're going to be working on a packaging design for the Raven H11 modular road helmet for the Votech brand that we've been working on throughout this series. As you can see here, when we open up this document, there's going to be a spot for us to input a title and then all of our project's details right below it. This document is also split up by sections, basic information, and then the different units of whatever we're going to be creating. In this case, the units are sides. So I've gone ahead and I've renamed them to sides, and I've indicated if it's the front, right side, left side, top, back, or bottom. So let's jump into basic information. So what type of print material is this? We want to indicate that this is a package design. And what are the dimensions that we're going to require? So I'm going to have a perfectly square box, 12 inches tall, 12 inches wide, and 12 inches deep. Now, how many sides are required for this design? So 6. And I've changed the language here to be sides, and the document that you download is just going to be units. The next question is, are there any specific printing styles that we're looking for? Now, I've said none here because I'm going to leave this up to our packaging printer or whoever's producing our packaging. And lastly, we're going to indicate how many units we need printed. I've said to start, we're going to need 10,000 units. So now let's jump into the different sides. So the front of our package is going to be the most important part. So here we want to keep this very simple, and we want to establish what's called a hierarchy. Now, for a package design, we want to get one simple idea across and to be eye-catching and draw in whoever's walking by. In a hierarchy, we want to divide the information that we want someone to intake when they look at this package as what's the most important, and then the things that fall under that. So the first thing in our hierarchy is going to be the actual product image. We're going to want this to be very highly produced, and we want it to catch people's eyes and be the first thing that they see so they engage with the packaging and look further into it. So I've included here as the images, I want a front of the helmet rendered, and I've put large here because I want this to be the first thing in the hierarchy. If people have one piece of information to take away when they look at this package, it's exactly what the product is and how cool it is. That's the first thing I want them to focus on, and that's what I want them to take away if they walk away from this without purchasing it. Now, the second thing I want them to intake is the modular transition. So this helmet is modular, so it comes off, there's different parts of it, there's different configurations that you can have, and I want to show that. I want that to be one of the leading functions that we show on that packaging design. So I want to show the full half and none face clippings for the helmet, and I want that to be presented small on the front of the package. Now, as far as written content, I want the unit's actual name, the Raven H11 modular helmet. I want that to be somewhere on the front so we can indicate what the model is. I also want to highlight this feature, that it's top rated in road safety. That's not as important as a takeaway as the rest of the parts that we've been talking about, but I'm still going to include it on the front. I'm just going to make it one of our sub hierarchy pieces. And then lastly, wherever we have those small images of the different transitions between the modular helmet, I want it to say that there's 3 easy configurations, just so we have some text to explain those imageries. And lastly, for written content, I want to say that there are 3 easy configurations. We'll put those near the images just to give them some context. So next up is side 2, the right side of the package. So I've stated that I want the helmet render to be the largest thing, but this time I want it to come from the right side of the helmet. The main difference with this side is I want to put our mission statement here. So I want to put, our mission is to supply riders with the high-end gear they need to keep safe and look good. We understand that in this class, there can be nothing less than the best. So I want that on the side somewhere so that people can reference that. If they're looking for more information, they can learn about the brand a little bit. And that leads us to side 3, the left side. So I want this to look exactly like the right side, except we're going to switch out the mission statement this time for another instance of the logo. Now we'll look at side 4, the back. So on the back, I want the images of the back of the helmet. I want that to be consistent on all 4 sides of the box here. I want to show just all the different sides of the helmet so someone can look at it, get a good idea of what's inside. I want to again show those modular transitions on the back, all the different configurations of the helmet. And then the only other information that we're going to need here is the purchasing information. So the barcode, the unit number, and the size of the helmet. which then leads us to the last two, which are the top and bottom. So on the top, I just want the simple Votech logo with the tagline and then nothing on the bottom. And that's it for our packaging design instruction. Now it's important to note that when filling these out, we can either get extremely detailed or we can keep it a bit loose. If we have a very specific direction on where this packaging needs to go that we need to communicate to the designer, we want to get very specific and we want to tell them every little detail and explain that to them very clearly so that they know what to do. However, we can also keep this pretty loose like I have in this document. So I've decided to just put in the elements there that I want on the packaging and let the designer, who's the expert in this field, figure out how he's going to format all of those and create the most interesting design. Whether very detailed or loose is entirely up to you. It's up to your delegation style and how you work with other people. Just make sure that you approach this process as an iterative process, looking at the first versions of this design, asking yourself, is this really achieving the goals that we need to, and then revisiting any edits along the way. And that finishes our design instructions. So in the next video, I'm going to take these instructions, I'm going to design our actual packaging and show you how I work through that process as a designer. I hope this video was helpful to you in some sort of way. If it was, please leave a like, and if you have any questions about the process, please comment them below and I'll respond. As I mentioned earlier, I have a library of free resources on my website that I would love for you to visit. This is at brycetufts.com under the resources tab. I have workbooks, worksheets, and guides to help you through your branding process. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.